What's going on, everybody? You tuned into the Root Cause podcast, where we get to the root cause of what's going on in the world. I have with me tonight my brother Eric Johnson. Y'all know what time it is. Eric Johnson is a business owner. He's a finance professional. He owns a tax preparation company. So during tax season, if you need help with your taxes, reach out to Eric Johnson on social media. Make sure that you inbox him and talk to him about your tax return, whether you have unfiled taxes from a couple of years. He can help you get together, or for your business, your organization, your whatever you have going on, individual taxes, joint taxes with your spouse. Eric can help you get that done. I also have with me my brother Ace Chandler. He is a business owner. He's a digital marketing guru. He helps businesses upscale their business. He puts together marketing plans for them to help them reach new customers. He also does everything from short films to commercials and all that kind of stuff. So if you need any of that kind of work, graphic work, branding material, reach out to Ace. And we also have with us the very lovely Miss Maya McKenzie. Miss Maya McKenzie, she's a mompreneur. She's also a social media influencer. She's a social justice advocate in the space where she advocates for the LGBTQ plus QI plus community, as well as those who are neurodivergent. She advocates for those who are neurodivergent, people dealing with autism or ADHD, these different neurodivergent individuals. She advocates for them and what's best for them. And I'm Kendall. I'm your big brother, your little brother, your old summer fling. And it was the best summer you ever had in your whole life. And you think about it every day. I miss you too, by the way. We are the root cause. We are the root cause. We are the root.
I wasn't supposed to laugh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They miss me. But it's the root. I'm sorry. You don't like the Maya's like, look.
It's gross. I mean, hey, do you? But it's gross.
Maya said, "This is too much testosterone, buddy. Just move on. Keep it moving." But we are the Root Cause Podcast. Y'all, what's up? What's going on? Y'all good?
Good. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on. Ace, you good? I think you muted, bro. You gotta unmute.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right, Maya, how you doing, darling? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, let's start tonight just for our opening topic. Let's just recap the weather event that we had all across the country. Just something light to start us off. Before we get into politics tonight, I just want to acknowledge that there was a major winter storm that hit the entire country. The winter storm hit large parts of the entire country. Dangerous cold, power outages, travel disruptions, and all that. And while people are focused on surviving this weather, the political wheel kept turning. But I know here in Indianapolis, we ended up getting somewhere between 10 and 12 inches of snow, depending on where you are. I know Maya's in Memphis, Tennessee. And so, Casey, girl, I told you you got to go somewhere. Maya's in Memphis, Tennessee. How was things down there for you, Maya? I know they had like snow. Y'all not used to that, but you had a lot of ice, right?
The snow was ice, and there was no salt or sand to be seen, despite the National Guard being everywhere, and ICE and the FBI. So yeah, it's pretty bad here. None of the roads are passable. We actually did well with power, probably thanks to Elon Musk. We normally have a power outage, but now that we have these data centers, I guess we're important for power. But yeah, it's no bueno here. Nobody's gonna get out till probably Saturday.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah, because y'all not built for that kind of weather down in the South down there.
we could be, but they're spending money on other things.
Yeah. Go ahead, put that up, Ace, because that I mean you gonna have to unmute Eric, but all across the country, literally from New Mexico to Maine, there was a winter weather event. So if you're watching us, hopefully you're being safe out there. We wish you the best, especially if you're in the South and there's a lot of ice and snow still through parts of Arkansas that aren't used to getting that kind of stuff. Northern Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, parts of North Carolina. So you're in our thoughts and
Mississippi is
prayers.
annihilated.
Yeah, Mississippi, they're not used to that. So
They don't have any power. So
wow. Yeah. And parts of Tennessee, I saw your boy I saw who's Ted Cruz. I saw him jumping on a plane to go to LA.
He came back. He came back.
in the middle of another storm. What, Texas? Why y'all keep letting him play with you like that? What, Texas? Talk to me, Texas. Why y'all letting him play in your face like this, bro? Every time y'all have a major storm, he's on a plane going somewhere where the sun shines. Yeah, but as you can see, all the way from New Mexico, all the way through. I mean, Albuquerque, New Mexico was getting snow. They are not used to that, especially in the low elevation areas. So, man, it's. I think we haven't had a national storm like that. They said like in the last 35 years or so. So it's pretty significant. So we're hoping that you all are being safe out there, and we're hoping for a quick recovery for those in Mississippi and Tennessee and Arkansas. I know Shreveport, Louisiana got lambasted, and because the storm line was so defined, it was ice and snowing in Shreveport, but 73 degrees in New Orleans, which is crazy. Same state, 2.5 hours away. You know what I mean? So you are in our thoughts and our prayers, and we wish you all the best as y'all try to recover from that down in the southern part of the country. All right.
You know, Kendall, and they claim that we haven't had weather like this since 78, but
Wow.
I guess they forgot about the vortex from 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had and I know they always say the blizzard of 78, but you know what they don't mention? Do y'all? I know here in Indiana we remember it. I don't know if Aaron remembers it or Ace remembers it or not, but I remember in like this must have been like 99. Y'all remember we had like in 1999 in Indianapolis, right around New Year's Day, it snowed about 7 or 8 inches. Then it warmed up, and we had about an inch and a half or 2 inches of ice, and then another 6 or 7 inches on top of that. And I remember us when I was in school. I remember us being out of school for like 3 or 4 days at that time. And this is back when they didn't let kids out of school like they do now. They had you behind in school. You like, dang, we can't stay home and build a snowman, bro. But so yeah, I wasn't around for the 78 blizzard. But why are you showing it? Look at you showing your look, man. Get out of here.
What you talking about? what you talking about, Kendall?
You trying to show your fantasy football rate?
Oh, man, let me take this off. Yeah, I forgot about this. Let me take that. Let me take that off.
I saw it. I catch it. No. Look,
I
I give
need
it
my
to
trophy.
you. Look, I got you.
I need my trophy.
I know that's right. I got it for you. I got to bring it to you. Let's
showing
get
off
into let's get into our first topic, y'all. First topic is the murder in Minneapolis.
Speaking of ice.
Yeah, over the last several days, the city of Minneapolis has been rocked by the killing of a civilian during a federal enforcement operation. As by now you've heard the story of Alex Preddy. Now we're hearing that Tom Holman he is now in Minnesota. The former ICE director has been brought in as part of the federal response. That alone tells you how serious the situation is and how escalated the situation has become. What's raising alarm, though, is not just the death of Alex Preddy, but how quickly federal authorities moved to control the narrative, to limit local police having access to the crime scene, and to justify the use of force. This isn't just about one incident anymore. This is now about how federal power is being used inside of American cities. And when you have 3 U.S. citizens, two U.S. citizens and 1 immigrant either shot and killed or harmed in the span of 3 weeks through these ICE operations, something has to give. What's y'all's thoughts on this, man?
Well, it was like Eric was raptured up again, but I'll go ahead and jump in. Yeah, Eric.
I want to be ready when he comes.
Eric in the system. No, I mean, my thing, it's sad because we have now, Kendall. What's going on, I guess it's you and I. So my thing is just you can't hear.
I hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, my thing is with the whole Minnesota thing, where the heck is Congress? And where the heck is the Supreme Court? You got Democrats that are talking about they're going to impeach Christy Nome. Now they're about to shut the government down because they said they're not going to fund DHS. And we already seen what happened the last time the Democrats shut the government down. Well, allowed the shutdown. Months in, they caved once they started getting pressure from corporate America, from their,
The donors.
From their donors. And I just fear that they're going to go ahead and go a few more months, stretching out another government shutdown, and then they're going to cave again. So it's like, you might as well not even shut the government down. Go in and vote, because you're going to end up voting in the end. We already know there's going to be Democrats. There's about 6 to 8 Democrats that won't stand their ground. They won't hold the line. So just go ahead and vote for it. And then hope for a successful midterm where you all can then come back and go back and investigate. Go back and launch those investigations. Go back and lock up those ICE agents who've been out here committing crimes and murdering folk. It's sad because we're sitting here and we see an ineffective Congress. We see an ineffective Supreme Court. And that's the only reason why this stuff is still allowed to go on, because there's no checks and balances on it. It's not bad enough. It's not bad enough. So until the grown-ups step up and they do their jobs, we're going to continue to see the foolishness that's going on, not just in Minnesota, but around across the country.
Maya, you got some thoughts, Maya? No?
She says she can't.
I mean, I don't think they care whether there's checks and balances or not at this point. Like, this administration has completely proven that they're going to do whatever they want to do. They're going to ignore the Bill of Rights. If they have to amend the Bill of Rights and make it work for them, they're going to do it. I don't think it even matters what Democrats or Republicans do at this point. They have proven time and time again that they will just change the rules. It is all on their plate, and nobody has been able to do anything about it. And I think also, like, postponing them being held accountable is just going, I mean, we can see that now. It's proven. It's just going to allow this to happen again, just like with Renee Good. They did not hit that. They did not nick that in the bud fast enough, and it happened right again, the next freaking week down the street. So people need to know it's real. And I've been reading that ICE agents are getting scared. They're talking in their private boards, and they are a little afraid because they have enraged the public at this point. So they need to be held accountable. And if Trump's not going to do it, that's our duty.
What do y'all think about the Black Panthers marching against ICE?
Oh, you talking about in Philadelphia?
Yeah. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
I saw it. It. Here's the thing.
I think it's cool.
And New York as well.
Yeah, it's the volatility of it, though.
I think it's cool.
It's like,
I
need
a little bit something more than that at this point. Guns are not working.
No, I get it.
Force is not working. We're going to have to think outside the box. These people are not even thinking who we're working against.
Yeah. I think what I worry about is the volatility of it. You create a volatile
situation. Is Kendall mute to anyone else?
I hear him.
No, you
can't hear him.
Oh, you can't. Oh, we'll have to figure that out. Just hold on. The volatility is what bothers me. The volatility is a challenge for me because you create an environment, you create an atmosphere where violence seems to be the only viable option. And the Republicans talk about, well, this year they didn't, but they usually talk about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Well, Dr. Martin Luther King, they didn't do it this year because they cut him out. But he said this: the language of the oppressed is riot. Mm-hmm. Dr. Martin Luther King said that. Mm-hmm. So when you have an oppressed people and it's been systematic oppression of them, that at some point it's going to be a powder keg. It's going to be an explosion. And I think what the Black Panther militia is doing is saying, I think that they're like, listen, we got guns too. And after the Alex Preddy thing, what I worried about was, as I was watching the coverage of that on Saturday, I kept saying to myself, at some point, somebody is going to get up in a 4th or 5th story window with a rifle, and they're just going to headhunt ICE agents from a perch position, some sniper or something like that, or somebody's going to show up with an AR-15. Somebody's going to, yeah. Y'all remember in, what was that, 2016 in Dallas?
Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas, that police, that was a black man in Dallas who said, "Look,
I'm
sick of
black
it."
Man.
Yeah, and it was after a series of black people being killed unarmed by the police.
Yep.
And he went and killed 18 police officers.
He did.
Yeah.
He killed
they sent a bomb into a garage where they killed one of the guys, and they sent in a bomb by robot to kill the other one.
Yeah, to neutralize the other one because they couldn't get to him. So
no, I forgot we can't say, but but to neutralize him, and whatever you want to call it.
to neutralize him. And so, but when you back people into a corner, their survival instincts kick in, and you at some point, all Donald Trump is doing is putting their literal lives in danger. He's literally putting the lives of those ICE agents in danger because as many vests as they put on and guns they have, they can't outnumber us. They can't outnumber the people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the challenge with all of this.
Mm-hmm. And I was having a conversation about this, Eric, before, where you had I was talking about that very thing that Kendall was just saying, where when people get sick enough, unfortunately, that's the only time violence is the only time they listen.
Yep.
During George Floyd, they didn't listen until the city started to burn. They didn't listen until the police stations had set on fire.
Yep.
When the police line and the SWAT trucks when the police line was pushed back and the SWAT trucks were confiscated by the hood, that's when they actually started to listen and say, oh, well, can't we all just get along? Even back during, if you remember Rodney King, and we were young back then, but even, LA burned before they finally started to come to the table and listen to the oppressed. It's just sad that usually history shows that they don't listen until there's blood and fire and brimstone. So, you can't hate them for going back to making them listen.
Yep, and you're right, because after the Trump, he made a small adjustment. He got rid of Greg Bovino, so he did react because of not the people are upset, but he watched that video, and when Trump when he actually watched it, rather than hear what people said to him, he knows this was bad. This is bad. That he's retreating of what he said. So you're right. So and they see people taking up arms in Philadelphia and New York. It's not just going to be there. If they keep it up, it's going to be in Portland. It's going to be in Seattle. It's going to be in Memphis. It's going to be in Indianapolis. They don't want this. So they need to make some adjustments.
That's what January 6th was. People were fed up and storming the Capitol.
Yeah.
Now we can disagree. We can disagree with how they did it, but these are people that were fed up, and they stormed the Capitol.
I think the root of him changing course is more to do with the fact that the people he wants to emulate, i.e., Europe, are rejecting him as of right now, and the world is rejecting us. The people he wants approval from, you're seeing them as the highest Aryans, because that's what it is, are disapproving of him right now. And that's why he's pulling back. Just like he sat down with Greenland, because they was like, what the hell is you doing? Like, nah, we don't do this over here. He's trying to appease them. I don't think it has anything to do with us. I don't think he gives three. It's what's happening to us. He doesn't care what happens to a kid or anyone. He wants to appease them. those are his daddies, you know. So
Right. And that is true what you're saying. We were talking about Kendall made a point about people getting fed up, the people, the oppressed getting fed up. And when and getting to a point where they continue to fight, when they start to fight back. When you push them so far to the brink, then you get mad, or you shocked that they start fighting back and they start burning things. They start. So he brought up the Dallas sniper and some of the other things. So that's what we were talking about. It's going to get to that point again if they don't stop. If y'all continue to execute Americans in the street,
especially white Americans.
I don't think they care.
Especially,
I really don't.
They're
all about money.
Right.
I do not think they care.
You're probably right, and they usually don't care until their own cities and their own businesses and their own homes start to burn. That's the point we were making. So that's when they will care. If you remember, and going back to what you brought up, Kendall, the police coast to coast were not saying anything. They were not standing up. They were not listening. With all those back-to-back killings of Black Americans, until the executed officers up in New York, when those NYPD officers were executed and up in New York, the same within months of the Dallas officers getting executed down in Dallas.
What year was this?
This was 2016. I think this was after Eric Garner.
Yeah. So then we had Tyree Nichols here, and they all got acquitted.
Yeah.
So it was a string. It was a string of acquittals of Black American citizens who were being executed in the street by the hands of police. And it was all back the blue. We support the blue. The blue stand together. And they did not listen. They did not say, "Okay, look, this is wrong. Right. These are bad actors."
Right.
And then until you had almost over 20 officers executed in between Dallas and New York. All within a span of months. That's when they started to come together. Let's hear the community. Let's reach out to the Black churches and let's put a committee to council together and let's listen to the Black community. Let's listen to what they have to say. Let's all join together and get along.
Yep. No, that just created a lull. They went right back to doing it.
And they went right back. That's what the point
we're trying to make. That's the point.
It's the vicious cycle. It's like
But then how does that help for us to start burning shit again? Is what I'm saying. Like, how does that?
I didn't say, we weren't saying it does. We're saying that's what it's going to get back to. We're on this trajectory that we're going to go back through that cycle again. And next is going to be the pushback, where right now it's protesting. We're speaking up. They're trying to get in the way, take pictures, all that stuff. But there will be. And I don't condone it, but there will be, unfortunately, it'll get worse.
That's why, you're right. That's why in Minnesota, those police officers in Minneapolis, they're giving protesters water. They feeding them. They doing stuff like that just so that the police part would go on the good side of them. Hey, it's not us, it's them. So when all hits the fan, remember what we did while y'all was protesting. So you're right, because they don't want that smoke either.
I will say this, Eric, to your point. The death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, which what was her first name?
Renee Good. It was 2.2 miles away.
Renee Good.
It was in the same neighborhood. Same neighborhood that had happened. And the police chief in Minneapolis said, he did a press conference, and he said we have been through a lot in this city, and we've learned a lot, right? He said since George Floyd, he said we have done a good job of connecting with those in the community. He said we have, and that's in that same press conference when he said that they had taken away the guns of like over 900 felons and violent offenders. He said, and we didn't have to shoot a single one.
Yeah,
because we learned how to police without being over.
That's training.
Yeah, exactly.
That's training. That's education. That's learning.
Yeah,
these people out here, they only got 47 days on average.
Yeah.
Out of 5 months.
Yeah. And watch this. And this is one thing I know in Indianapolis when we've dealt with IMPD. What I've always said to them, and IMP does, we have incidents every so often, but not terrible ones.
Mhm.
Well, any time an officer has to discharge his weapon and kill somebody, that's a bad situation. Let me clarify that. But I guess the point I'm making is one thing that I know Young Lions and other organizations have tried to get IMPD to understand is the same restraint you have with a white man with a gun
Mhm.
is the same restraint you need to have with a black man with a gun.
That's right.
Make one adjustment, and you won't have half the trouble with us that you have.
Let me
But
say
I think
that.
with them, it wasn't even a training issue because the Border Patrol person who shot Pretty
He was 7 years in.
was seasoned.
Yeah,
It wasn't that. And
Oh,
a lot
no,
of the
no.
people who were clapping and counting bullet holes, they were seasoned. They were trained.
No, here's the thing. A lot of those here's the problem. Being trained and having a understood license to be lawless are two totally different things.
Yeah.
You can be trained and
Yep.
you can be trained and still know that you are behind an iron curtain.
Then training's not an issue. It's a lack of empathy, and they're
Oh, no,
choosing
no,
people who are sociopaths.
Well,
I get it.
But part of training is empathy.
Right, but if you don't have that mechanism in your brain, somebody can tell you that all day.
I don't think
These
it's
people
that
are
they don't.
sociopaths.
I don't think it's that they don't have it. It's just they were
If
told.
you're clapping
that they
over
don't-
somebody's dead body,
I was. Well, I'm not saying
that was
I'm not
real
saying
quick,
the mass.
Aaron. Real quick, hey, that was crazy. Y'all saw him
Yeah,
clapping
yeah.
after he shot it.
they were
That's
counting
crazy.
bullet holes instead of getting him help.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not saying just certain individuals. I'm talking about the mass. But as far as police training, I agree with Eric. I'm sure that's part of it. But what I was saying was, they were told that they had full immunity.
That's what it is. That's what it
That's
is.
fine,
They were
but
told that they
a
had full
normal
immunity. They
person,
were told
if you
to go.
That's
Go
it.
ahead. Go ahead, Maya.
no, I'm just saying that's fine. That if you're told you have immunity, if I'm told, hey, you can go out there and kill whoever you want, just
They're
go
gonna do it.
purge. I am still not going to do that as a human because that's against my morals and my actual frontal lobe. But if you are, they're hiring people who are absent of these factors and they're like, hey, yeah, go do that. Go rape those kids. Go kidnap those kids. We don't care. They know who they're hiring. That is the massive.
But that's part of what Aaron is saying, though. Ace is saying that's a part of the assignment. The cruelty is the point.
Yeah,
right.
But I'm talking about the individual and not the assignment.
Hold on. The objective informs who you bring in to fulfill the assignment.
Yes.
Right. So if I'm looking for, I'm a general contractor. If I need to get electrical work done and the objective is to fix the electrical, I'm going to go get somebody that's an electrician. And if I say, hey man, I need this electric fixed, but I need it to be off the books, I know who to call for that too. That's part of the point. And I think that's what I think we're all in agreement that policing in America in general has been that there's that blue curtain. It's an iron curtain. If I'm standing behind that curtain, I'm Teflon to any accountability. And then when you had, to Ace's point, when you literally have Bongino literally saying and Miller, Stephen Miller literally saying, he said, I want to make sure Megamind, where's Megamind? Megamind's out there talking about the fact he's out there talking about I want to make sure that they understand you have the full force of the United States government behind you. You have full immutable immunity and all this other kind of stuff. And when you're doing that, and you already have people that are predisposed to wickedness, to Maya's point, right? It's a perfect cocktail. Then you have somebody going down to the ground with his right hand up and you shoot him in the back of his neck at point blank range.
Crazy.
Execution style.
Crazy. That was crazy.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Also similar to that, Maya mentioned it earlier, that when you look at Minnesota in context, it raises a lot of bigger questions though about the selective erosion, I'll say, of constitutional protections, due process, transparency, the federal government taking away local authority after the Republican Party swears up and down that they are for states' rights. They're taking away the rights of the state in order to police their own people, which is the hypocrisy of it is alarming. And the concern is that like there's a lot of civil rights groups all over the country that are raising a simple question. If constitutional protections only apply when they're convenient, then they're not protections.
No.
And that's a dangerous precedent that we are setting.
Yes.
In this country, we're setting a very dangerous precedent.
Yes. Because
I say to Republicans all the time, and I would love to hear from Maya because I know she's a constitutional person. She believes Eric is too, but I know Maya. I want to hear from you on this because the problem is what I say to Republicans here recently was good for the goose is good for the gander, and y'all need to remember. Flip the tables. If we have an unruly Democratic president, y'all gotta understand what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if you are establishing a precedent, you are creating a problem. You're creating a problem. Maya, what's your thought on that?
I do nothing about it though.
Yeah, what's your thought on that, Maya? Because I know you were talking. We were talking offline about in our private chat. We were talking about the constitutional norms that are just being blown through.
Well, I mean, I just think it's not fair because as the American people and even as on a state level, we're playing checkers and they're playing chess because they have all these millions to essentially spy on us from mechanisms we don't even know exist yet. The takeover of TikTok, which was a big way for all of us to get together and to share ideas and to get that information out, particularly to millennials and people who don't pay a lot of attention, and to gather and, go against, to create protest, has been taken away. It is owned by his buddies now, and ICE is in full operation. So if you haven't deleted your TikTok, you absolutely should. Another thing is they have infiltrated Signal, which is a huge, we're talking like that's supposed to be data encrypted. Nobody can get in there. They've done that in Minneapolis in particular to interrupt protest. So when you have people who have access, thanks to Dodge and Elon Musk, to every last thing you think and know in all of your networks, like they're playing checkers and we're playing chess. We have no idea what they know about us. And if they don't even need a warrant to come break in my house right now,
they need one. They just don't. They need one. They just don't care about the fourth.
No, they said they don't.
Yeah, the 4th, 5th, and 11th Amendments. They could care less about those.
They said they no longer need a warrant, and they've been doing that since the summertime. ICE has not needed a warrant. So yeah, I don't see how we can play against people with these kind of tools, and they're getting more money to have these kind of tools. I don't see how.
Historically, this country has depended on the restraint of people of goodwill.
Yep.
We have depended on people being decent people in power. I don't think the forefathers, well, they did. They thought about what if we ever got a lawless, wicked leader?
Yeah, they did.
How would we fix that? Well,
Congress.
They had Article 1 of the United States Constitution. Article 1 is the people, the Congress. And if they ain't going to do, well, I was cussed, if they ain't going to do nothing about it, and in the Supreme Court, Article 3, they not going to do nothing about it, well, then Article 2 is going to run amok.
Or they're just going to ignore it. They're just ignoring it.
They literally are out to lunch. Aaron, I know, Ace, sorry, bro. Ace, I know that you were talking about this, in our first segment, you were talking about how Congress, they're mute and ain't said a word. This is literally Article 1 territory as a part of our checks and balance system.
Mm-hmm. And they're sitting there. It's like, what's the point of them at this point? I mean, what at this point? What is the
That's what I said I said that last episode. What's the point of Congress at this point? Yeah. We don't know.
I mean, they say, "Oh, we need our institutions, and we need our." But when's the last time Congress has been effective?
The only thing they're effective is going in there, phone banking, and trying to raise money for their next election.
Yeah, and then sadly, when the Democrats take back over, they're going to launch a bunch of investigations, and when they finally get people against the wall and against the ropes, they're going to pull back, just like Obama did when he was supposed to be going after the Bush administration and all the crap they did, and with the housing crisis and 9/11 and all that stuff, everybody was calling on. There's oh yeah, Obama's gonna come in and yeah, we're gonna finally get answers to the Bush administration, and then he spent the next 2 terms humanizing Bush and his administration. You had the Trump administration. What happened? Look what happened with the last Trump administration. Yeah, we locked a few people up, but we didn't. We had the big bad killer right there against the ropes, and what we do, we let up. Well, because of a department memo, we can't.
Not the law,
and not the law,
but internal memo.
Not a post-it note at that.
But you know what? You know what the root of this is, though. And Eric, I'd love for you to jump in here. The root of this, I think, to me, the root of this, you stupid. You can't prosecute a president.
You can't prosecute and give this to the Democrats. Oh crap!
Oh
no!
Oh God! It's on a post-it note in black ink. Oh my God! No, but listen. You know what I think the root of this is? Because I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. When Abraham Lincoln elected after the Civil War not to arrest and execute every traitor.
Yep.
He should have executed every single traitor.
He should have.
To the victor goes the spoil.
You're right.
And we would have listened to me.
And they were allowed
for the most part, we would have squashed
all this
white nationalism.
All that we was squashed
back in the Civil War. It would have been squashed.
Because
it would have most of it, a good majority of it would have died with those who were faced the firing squad, the hanging post, and all of that.
Well, Kendall, here's the thing.
And that sounds awful, but that's the truth.
That's the truth.
Kendall, but then that's what they did when it came to Germany and Nazi SS. Those Nazi generals, they were moved to America and they were allowed to move throughout. Here we're gonna give y'all. We'll let y'all take you're gonna come out of power. We're gonna come out of Germany, but you can come to America. You can go to other countries, but you can't stay here. They didn't execute them. They didn't lock them up. And that's why we're dealing with. We talked about this. Probably episode 5 and 6. We were talking about Israel. When we were talking about Israel and why Israel is, pro Trump, and the new Israel is not the Israel of the biblical Israel, the Israel that we were talking about from biblical times. Because it's just the collapse of the USSR. They were allowed to come down into other countries, into other regions, and rise into power. And now you see the same, that same aggression from the Civil War and Nazi Germany, and that white nationalism. It's just like it's still here. You're to your point. He could have been squashed back then. It could have been squashed during World War II, but it wasn't, because America will always give them a pass, because America, at the end of the day, that's who they are. That's who they are.
Eric, what's your thought on that?
Aaron, Ace, he knocked that out the park. He really did. I really don't have too much to add to that, other than we're like I always say this, but we're in a bad spot. We're in a bad. It's going to get really, really bad. And I was just telling my spouse, I said, you know what? All this stuff is going on. I might have to go get a pistol.
May take a shot.
And bear arms, because before they try to, but before you get a chance to even take it away from me.
Because bag and all that. Go ahead.
Yep. Because this is. I'm not trying to walk in fear, live in fear or anything like this. But this is where we going. This is where we at. And I hate to be this way, but
and
I'm talking to conservatives who are now they talking about, when the guy that got killed, he said, why did he have a gun? I said, "Yeah." I said, "You sound like a left." I said, "You sound like far left. You sound far left now." So you mean to tell me that he should not have had a gun, even though he's legally able to have one? He never pulled it out.
That's what I was about
Never
to say.
did
Did he
anything.
pull it?
He could walk up and down the street butt naked,
And y'all
and he
shot
could
him
have a
before you
gun.
disarmed him. You shot him after you disarmed him.
Kyle
Yeah.
Rittenhouse walked
Oh,
as a
Lord.
17-year-old who's not able to even carry the daggone gun through the streets of what is it? Where were they, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? He walked through the streets with an open AR-15 strapped across his. He crossed state lines. That is a federal crime. You are a
Yep.
minor with an assault rifle. You crossed state lines to wear an AR-15 strapped across your chest. So we ain't talking about conceal. You're open carrying an AR-15.
He was on
And
prime time on Fox News the next day.
and the right was hit. And then Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk
Yeah, he did.
brought him out to fireworks and pyrotechnics and all this kind of stuff. We have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stage, Kyle Rittenhouse. And then when a grown man is carrying a firearm, concealed, holding a cell phone in his hand, you pull it out of the back of his pants and then shoot him point blank range in the back of his neck. And you all, them same people, this is how you know it's disingenuous. This is how
You shouldn't have had a gun. You shouldn't have had a gun. Pro gun.
I know Maya's not gonna agree with this, but I'm gonna say it to you too. This is how you know it's the devil. It is satanic because
It's demonic.
this.
Yeah.
If the Bible is true, the Bible says that Satan is the father of all lies. They literally will sit there and the witchcraft of the bait and switch of it. Eric, you just said you're talking to Republicans all weekend long, and half of them are saying, "Well, why did he bring a gun out here?" Blah blah. Are you out of your mind?
Kendall.
Real quick, and finally, Aaron, the NRA said, "Yo."
They came in and said, "I was just about to say that."
The NRA had to step in and be like,
It's like, wait,
you got to chill out.
Kendall, they were sitting there going on their talking. The whole Trump administration went on their on the news. They went on their cycle through the news station. They were all preaching the same talking points.
All types of songs. Yes.
They said, "Who shows up to a peaceful protest with firearms?" Proud Boys do.
The Proud Boys do. The people who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, they do.
Charlottesville.
Yeah, I mean, Charlottesville do. Like, what are we talking about?
January 6th.
Torches.
January 6th.
The Constitution and the Bill of Rights only matter to you when it's on your side.
Yeah.
You brought up Kyle Rittenhouse, but I'll bring up George Zimmerman. Then he goes and shoots a guy. Then he's allowed to. He's acquitted. And then he's allowed to sue, and he said, for one, he's allowed to not only sue, but he also trolled the victim's family for years, trolled them, and then launched a $100 million lawsuit against Trayvon's family.
Didn't he run for office too?
Probably did. He probably was backed by Republicans. I bet he ran for.
I heard he's broke now. Maya, you got some thoughts before we go to the next
There should have been. Never mind. I'll keep that comment to myself. But look,
I think Americans need to move away from weapons that take lives. I don't think police should be walking around with them. We have a fascination with guns and with power, actually, that we need to disengage from. That's
well, they're gonna call you a Republican now. Like you said, they're gonna call me a Republican. Now they're gonna call you one.
I don't give a shit.
Republicans now the party of no guns.
I ain't never moved around and said we need a gun. In Tennessee, I can go in Walmart today and see grown men walking around with AK-47s on their back. How do you think I feel as a single mom going in there with my 2 kids and somebody's got an AK-47 on their back in Walmart? It's ridiculous.
I'll never give up mine because they'll never give up.
Then don't. But what I'm telling you is, as far as other countries who are doing well, which we have not been in a while, this is a problem. And there's a reason they're doing well and don't have the homicide rates and the issues that we do. It's a white supremacist problem to care about AK-47s and having access to them. It
They
really
may not have.
indeed
They may
is.
not have guns, but they're dying by clubs and baseball bats and knives.
They're actually
to get
not.
help.
They're actually not. But we've already been over this. So yeah, that's my stance.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is, I mean, America, that we're never going to be a gunless country.
Why? But see, that's an adoption of their values. I'm not going to adopt that value because, as we just learned, I'm going to get shot for it anyway.
Yeah.
Your bill, right to
Yeah.
bear arms? I guess not. I know I'm gonna get shot for it if he did. So
He didn't get shot for having a gun though.
No,
that is their
He didn't get
narrative.
shot for having a
That
gun.
is their
Yeah,
narrative.
That is the narrative. It's not
That's
true.
their excuse. Yeah, that's
Right.
their excuse.
And
But they
that's
had
what
already
their
disarmed him.
supporters are accepting.
Yeah,
Yep.
they had already disarmed
That's
him.
true.
Just like
Right.
We know.
just like
we know.
yeah, just like so. And in the same point, then, if we need to give up our guns because we're gonna get
Everyone
shot,
should. I'm not saying you.
then we need to give up. Exactly. I know
think the police officers shouldn't have guns. They don't in the UK.
I know you're speaking in general, but what I'm saying is, then we need to give up our vehicles because
vehicles don't kill people. That's not their sole purpose.
Girl got her brains.
It's not the sole purpose though. A gun is to kill and
for
to
driving
harm.
a vehicle. No. What I'm saying is, she didn't have a gun and she still got killed.
That's very true. Buy a gun. But what I'm saying is, if they didn't have access to guns right here, not if every one of them had access to guns right here, that wouldn't be happening like that.
I feel like bad actors are just gonna be bad actors, regardless.
That may be true, but the statistics say otherwise. That may be true.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying, because we do have a gun culture that we've embraced in this country, and you're right. More guns does not mean less crime. More guns does not mean that all the good guys going to shoot all the bad guys. The numbers don't back that up. That part is true, but for us to maintain in this country, that's why I'm not against people having guns. But I get you.
I'm not against it. I just prefer not. I'm never going to have one.
I get what you're saying. I definitely do. But this is not Europe, though, unfortunately.
I know. That's why I gotta go. I know.
Here's the next thing we're going to discuss tonight is the fact that the Democrats and their response to what's going on in Minnesota. And again, Aaron alluded to this, but they because this is where like politics really should meet the consequence. There should be consequences for what has happened, and they should be legal and political. Democratic leadership they've signaled that they're willing to block funding for DHS unless there are changes to how ICE does their operations.
Via government shutdown.
Yeah, that stance is now directly tied to the possibility of a government shutdown. But this is. But I think, Ace, this is an unusual moment, though. A shutdown threat tied not to like spending levels, but to federal enforcement practices does seem like it may have some traction. There are senators in the Senate that have said, I believe there was I was reading, I think there was about 7 Republican senators that openly said, "Hey, I'm concerned about X, Y, Z." I know, but
you sound like Susan Collins. And
I got you.
Who's going to vote?
She's what they say. She's always very concerned, right?
Always very concerned.
She's always very concerned. But the real question is whether Democrats are prepared to hold the line, and A said they're not, and whether or not pressure can force them to back down like they did last time. So let's unpack that for a second. I know we mentioned it a little bit, but Ace, I want to have you start that, because the question is, man, I don't know. I do think there might be an appetite, because there will be some Republicans, it sounds like, that might be in this thing, at least like what's going on with this ICE stuff.
Here go Kendall with the good Republicans.
I know. I'm just saying. I know. I'm trying to be.
There's still some Reagan Republicans out there who's gonna stand up for the Constitution and the amendments and stand up for this country.
Look, I try to be positive. I know what I'm looking at, but I'm trying to be positive. Hey, what's your thought? Because I know that was one of the things that you was talking about. You mentioned it earlier, but you want to pack it further?
Man, listen, it's a waste of time. Just go ahead and vote. Go ahead and vote to keep the government open, because we already know the Democrats, they don't have the to actually hold the line. They don't. All they're going to do is they're going to waste our time. They're going to cave. Huh?
I said they don't have the kahunas or the chutzpah.
Exactly. They don't. And they're just going to hold the line. They're not going to hold the line. At the end of the day, they can go 60. They can go 59 days. They won't go 60. So what I'm saying is, they're not going to do what it takes. They don't have it in them. They never have. When has Democrats ever shown that they have the heart to do that, to do what is necessary? They're not. They want to be liked. They don't want to govern. They want to be liked at all costs. So if that means somebody's going to suffer, and if they're going to lose a vote, or they might lose a race, then they're going to cave. Now, I'm not saying that's for all Democrats. You might have the majority, but Jeffers ain't gonna hold. He's not gonna hold his people together. Schumer's not gonna hold his people together.
You already had 7 people
defecting. Coming,
defect.
You already
got one of them backtracking after he voted.
Exactly. So it's just a waste of time. Democrats, don't even play yourself. Go ahead and vote. Keep government open, because we already know you all going to chicken out. At the end of the day, you're going to chicken out. So let's just save us the time. Keep government open. Keep funding the institutions. Keep funding, the SNAP benefits, all that other stuff. Keep funding. Just keep it open. Keep government open, because you're not going to.
Yeah, they can't use SNAP as an excuse this time, because SNAP is already approved.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, keep whatever you need to do to keep government open. Just do it, because it's not gonna. Oh, we're gonna shut down government because of ICE. Please, you're not gonna shut down government because of no ICE. Just cut it out. Just go ahead and keep government open. And that's where I stand with it. Go ahead, Ken or Eric.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. These are the names who voted. Republican.
I was looking for that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
There's Republican Tom Sweezy of New York, Henry Cuellar in Houston, who's in Texas, who is he's the most conservative Democrat in the House, who Trump pardoned. Let's keep that in mind. Trump pardoned him earlier this year because for his bad behavior. Republican Don Davis out of North Carolina. Republican Lauren Gillen in New York, Republican Jared Golden,
Tim Kaine,
Republican Representative Vicente Gonzalez, Marie Perez out of Washington. Those are the 7 who defected.
And what do you say, Eric?
And I'll call this is the rotating villains.
Follow what, Eric?
Follow the money, and all of them took money. Take money from AIPAC. That's not a coincidence.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. This is all actually just about money.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence. They all take money from AIPAC, for one, and 2 from other big. Big
and also look at where they're getting their stocks and their shareholds from. All these people have interest in detention centers. They have interest in private prisons. They are getting paid hand over fist.
Yes.
No, this is all about getting richer. They don't give a shit what happens to us.
That's why the rotating villains. Okay, it's your turn. It's your turn now. Even in like you said, like I agree with Ace. If you're not going to hold the line, vote it up. Just vote it up. Get the 7 you need to get the Fettermans. Get
he's already against it.
Get all of that. Get the 7. You said what?
He's already against it. Fetterman. He's already against it.
That stroke did something to his brain.
That did. He became more conservative after he.
Because I think, what a stroke.
I don't think it had anything to do with the stroke.
It can strip you of your front of mind.
He lost. I think it has something to do with the stroke too. He lost a lot of his team.
I think it has everything to do with money. They get it. They talk about what they're going to do until they get in front of that money, and they see that all that cash flowing in. And it changes them. They forget about their morals.
But they should also just shut it down too. Like you're saying that it's not going to make a difference. It's actually not going to make a difference at all whether they keep it open for a lot of states because they've already frozen funding. particularly for Tennessee. Like our SNAP is already frozen. Minnesota, they've already stopped federal funding, so freeze it. A lot of us aren't getting what we need anyway.
Well, that's
So,
if it's frozen, I think that's more of a state to state maybe issue.
well, it is, but I'm saying if
it's
they
not
were to
happening.
shut down the government, it would not matter for a lot of us because our government is already shut down.
Yeah,
We've been living this way.
But like I said, if they shut it down now, this time,
she said, when was government ever reopened?
It has nothing to do with SNAP this time. SNAP is funded for the next
not for
2
us.
years. That's a state, but that's a state issue.
I know, but the point
we should care about each other collectively.
Eric,
I'm not saying that.
The point she's making is it is a state thing, and there's some states that are withholding funding anyway, so shut it down. Like she's like in Texas, like in Tennessee, it ain't gonna bother me none. Just shut it down. That's what she's
I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
Why? Because y'all getting it or we're not? Why can't you suffer with us?
What I'm saying is SNAP is not being affected at all this time with the shutdown. It's not.
What's being affected is them defunding ICE.
They could shut it down now, and SNAP is still gonna get to all the.
That's cool. Forget SNAP. Let's talk about ICE. That's what this is about.
I said, ICE, it will affect ICE, but ICE is considered exempt, so they could still get. They will still work. They will still be working.
ICE was funded while the government was shut down.
Yes.
Right, but they're asking for more money.
The big business, their big beautiful bill, so they got $750 billion.
They're asking for more millions right now. That is part of that.
But they already got $75 billion to play with.
It don't matter. They're giving each of those idiots $250,000, and then a per capita head per person per citizen they detain. So they're gonna run out of money quick. These are not smart people.
Well, they if they have $75 billion to play with, that's enough for at least another 18 months.
Well, we'll see. They have devices we don't know about. Who knows how much it's costing them to own TikTok, Signal, or whatever the hell else they're doing. So we'll see. There's a reason.
Ellison bought that, which is he bought.
Trump has shares in it.
Yeah, I believe that to be true.
Yeah, no, I looked it up. He has shares in that and most of the detention centers. Yeah. So they're getting paid hand over fist right now.
Yep. So I'm with, like I said, I'm with Aaron. If they're not going to hold the line, if they're going to pretend to hold the line, don't pretend. Don't play. Don't play. I agree with you. I was on that the first time, but people suffered for nothing. They suffer for nothing. I don't want people to suffer. Give in. Hold on, Maya. I do not want people to suffer for nothing anymore. If they're gonna suffer, but I'm just saying. But everybody, I understand what you're saying. But you know what I'm saying. On morally for me, if they're not going to shut it down
and leave it shut down, I see what you're saying, Eric. You're saying if you're gonna make people suffer,
if they're going right,
get something out of it this time,
right? If you're gonna get Trump what he wants anyway, why do this?
Exactly. That's the point I was trying to make. I rather them shut it down, and it became a
Democratic shutdown. It was not a Democratic shutdown at first. It was them.
It was a Trump shutdown. Yeah. When they caved, when these people right here caved.
Yes.
It became a Democratic shutdown.
I agree.
Because these individuals caved.
Yep.
With Schumer's permission. Because he's the leader. He knew they was going to do that day. He knew 7 days prior.
Can we pull up what would be frozen in particular?
Say it again.
Can you all pull up what would be frozen in particular? Like,
I can.
The government shut down.
Proceed. I'll go ahead and pull
it. It'll be ICE, DHS, FEMA, TSA, Coast Guard,
TSA. Yep.
Those type of entities, but
all that shit needs to be frozen. TSA is
I'm just
already working with ICE. TSA was in the Miami airport yesterday checking citizen status sheets, asking everybody for their paperwork as they came out the airport.
That's
You're
They
going to give
do.
them some more money
that's
to
not all.
terrorize people?
That's not all TSA though.
It's in
I remember.
Memphis. They are checking the logs.
I remember when I was. Well, that's. I'm saying that's not all TSA agents. Is what I meant. I remember when I was
No,
traveling during the. Go ahead.
I'm just telling you, it's not TSA doing that. They have invited ICE in to do this work because
They
they are
have no.
working together.
I'm not sure if they have a choice.
They don't have to. They don't have a choice. I was about to say they don't have a choice. I mean, if the president, if your boss tells you to do some stuff, you know what you do.
Correct.
You do.
But why
No,
would you give them more funding to to keep terrorizing people is what I'm asking you.
no, we agree.
That we're funding terrorism.
We agree.
We agree that they don't need funding. We agree that the government needs to be shut down. We're saying that don't even waste our time because Democrats don't have the balls to keep government shut down. That's what we're saying.
And to get something
They
out
don't
of
have
it
the
for the people.
dingleberries.
But if they do, you're also saying you're not going to keep it shut down. So just don't do it at all. Just fund it.
They're not going to. The Democrats won't keep it shut down. That's what we're
you're
saying.
I hear you, but I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, the Democrats don't have the balls to keep government shut down. They don't.
We'll see.
They don't have it. They don't have it.
We'll see.
Because you don't have anything.
I'm not going to just give up hope. That's just
okay. I was with you. I was with you. I was with you. You were me. I were you. Then when they opened it up and got nothing out of it.
Nothing.
That was before people were getting executed on live television. We'll see. That was before. I don't know if y'all heard all the kids crying in the detention center yesterday.
I want you to be right. I want you to be right. I promise you.
Fetterman has already came out and said that he doesn't agree that ICE should be abolished, that ICE should be defunded. He's already said that today.
Okay.
Fetterman, this Pennsylvania re-election date.
He's going to be one turn.
And then Maggie Hassan and Jean Shaheen, both of them, I think Jean Shaheen pulled her because they both have to stand together in New Hampshire. I think she pulled her. I think she pulled her over. But here's the problem, and I think that
now who's still retiring?
I hope so. But here's the thing with Angus King, for example, up in Maine. My thing to Angus King is, if I could talk to him, I'd be like, Senator King, did you not see them starting to descend on Maine, bro? The other senator from Maine is a Democrat. And the fact that you are there that you're getting elected as an independent is an anomaly. And if you are not careful,
no, Senator Collins, she's a Republican.
I mean, that's what I mean. But here's the thing. But what I mean, as far as you being there as an independent is an anomaly, is what I'm meaning to say. Maine always votes blue. I don't know why they keep sending Susan Collins and Angus King back. I just think it might be like personal loyalty to them or something like that. But here's the thing I would say to him, sir. When you start seeing ICE agents rounding up people off of Martha's Vineyard and all that up there, and you start seeing those Hispanic gentlemen that are working in the shipyards of Maine, and they start rounding them up, and now these lobster companies and these seafood companies
population up there as well.
Yeah, Asian population and Haitian. People native Haitian, yeah. And there's a lot of Native Americans up there as well. Right. So if you talk about
that's why ICE is there for the Haitians.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not there for the Mexicans. They're Hispanics. They're up there for the Haitians.
Yep. And here's the other thing.
We're also rounding up Native Americans, which is
that's what I was about to say. They're snatching up Native Americans and the Native American population.
Where are you sending them to?
Where they the same detention center.
No, until you deport them. Where are you deporting them to?
Where the hell are you deporting them to?
That's what I'm saying. Where are you going to deport them to?
Native, NATIVE, guys. But
watch
third grade.
But watch it. They look Hispanic.
But that's fine. When you're going to actual reservations,
they don't.
And detaining people, they made from the reservation.
They
got whole different ID cards and everything.
They shouldn't even have jurisdiction of the reservation.
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't care. That's what I'm saying. They're lawless.
This is about eugenics and white supremacy. They don't.
They're pushing a narrative of white supremacy. Okay,
Because they said they
it
feel
is
like
not
they're
white enough
becoming,
around here for them.
yeah,
We
they
mixing
said they're
up too
becoming
much.
They see a bunch of you high yellow folk.
What are you talking about?
You and you.
He a whole different species than me.
They see a bunch
Mine
of
was not consensual.
No, but look, here's the thing. None of it, to your point, Maya, they don't have jurisdiction for none of it. They didn't have jurisdiction to stop. What is her name again? Y'all tell me. Rachel Good?
Renee.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Renee Good. They didn't have jurisdiction to walk up to her car. I explained to somebody. I said, in the same way that TSA agents you've never seen a TSA agent pull anybody over, is the same reason why you shouldn't be seeing ICE, Immigration and Border Control,
pulling people out.
Immigration and Custom Control. You shouldn't see Border Control or Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You shouldn't be seeing them try to pull anybody over because they don't have.
They knew she was gay from the stickers on her window sill.
Sure.
They knew she was gay. That is not a part of their white Christian agenda. They even called her something, if you listen to the tapes, that made reference to that. Yeah, and that was part of their narrative as well, if you just listen to what they're saying. So she was fair game to them.
I saw a video, y'all, and I want to get y'all's thoughts on this before we do, just quickly run through that last topic we had. I want to ask y'all a question. I was watching this video. I would love to just get a quick reaction from y'all. I'm gonna try to explain this video as best I can. I saw on social media a lady was talking about Renee Good, and she said when Renee Good had her life taken away and Alex Preddy had his life taken away, she said, and I thought it was really good, and I just want to hear y'all's feedback on it. She said white people, she said we cannot ask black people and Hispanic people to do this fight. She said white people have to do this fight. She said, but understand that when we fight, we are giving up our whiteness in that moment. Any type of privilege that you thought you had as a white person is out of the window. Because you have to literally now put your body on the line, like African Americans and now Hispanics are putting their bodies on the line in order to effectuate change. She said, but understand that when you do this, you are giving up your pure whiteness and you're becoming a part of what they see as a problem, humanity, which is them losing control. I thought that was a very good, awesome, insightful video blog that she made. I'm just curious to go around the horn real quick, just to get everybody's opinion.
I kind of saw that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ace.
No, I think I saw that. And I think just at the end of the day, it's not just, we talked about this offline, and I've seen both. I see both sides of the coin, where from a black standpoint, they're saying, you got black folks saying this is not our fight. Because when we were marching for Black Lives Matter, you had Latin Kings and some of these other Latin gangs and mainly Latin men throwing rocks, chasing folk with guns and all this other stuff, threatening. And I've sent y'all links. I'm not making this stuff up. I sent y'all links showing this stuff. And but at the end of the day, whether you're a Christian or not, but if you're just a human being, and I said this before, if you're when we were dealing with Boone County, any human would be, we shouldn't accept this. Any human would be unsettled. That's why we stand toe to toe. That's why we jump into the fight, because we see humanity. We recognize humanity. We see humanity under attack. We don't see this is a black fight, a brown fight, a white fight, a blue fight. We see humanity. This is good versus evil. Plain and simple. There's no gray area. And for the ones who, and I can't be a hypocrite and say, oh, I'm not gonna say anything about this. I'm not gonna use my platform to speak on this, and then attack Democrats for trying to have a gray area when they vote president. It's the same thing. You can't be lukewarm. You got to pick a fight. You got to pick a side, and we all have to pick a side. So if you're not for them, you're against them, and vice versa. There is no in between. If you're not for humanity, you're against humanity. That's how I look at it. So while I see why those individuals are saying this is not our fight, this is why I'm pushing back. I'll say, listen, at the end of the day, and I push back with y'all because y'all said we're next. And I disagree wholeheartedly. We're not next because we've never been off the plate. We'll always be on the plate. We've been on the plate. We'll always be on the plate, before and after.
They just eating mashed potatoes now.
No.
We on the same plate. They wasn't eating the fried chicken. Now they eating mashed potatoes, but we're still on the plate.
Here's the thing: the media is not talking about us right now. We're not the news. We're still getting our doors kicked in. We're still getting pulled out of our cars. We're still getting discriminated against walking through the malls and the stores, and the security called on us because they think we're shoplifting. That's still happening to us. I know several people who are just recently over the last month who've been discriminated against at hospitals. Mm-hmm. So we're still getting mistreated. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was pushing back. Oh, we're next. No, we're not next. Because the bullseye have always been our backs. We've always been on the chopping block. It's just the media is not talking about it right now.
Yeah.
We're not the headline.
Yeah.
They're not getting ratings off of us. There's no George Floyd right now. So they're not talking about us right now. But that doesn't mean that we're not still getting our necks stepped on. That's not mean that the police haven't shot a black person in the last month or so. I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah. I'm sure we can pull it up, Google it. We can go on social media, pull it up.
About it. Yeah.
We just haven't heard. Good. CNN is not popular right now. It's not a talking point. Mm-hmm. It's not ratings. It's not a ratings boost.
Yeah. Maya, you want to jump in here?
Eric, you go first.
Okay.
I feel the same way Aaron does. I actually, when I heard it's a popular lady who said the same thing, and she got all she's a social media influencer. Everybody clap, giving her, yeah, you're right. And I'm just like, where's the humanity? That's my thing was, where's the humanity? I understand that we felt like we have never received the humanity from the majority. I get that. Like Ace was saying, I totally get that. But but where's your moral compass? That's my idea. Where's your moral compass? That's going to be my response to people from now on. When it comes down to stuff like that, where is your moral compass? Then I'm just leave it alone after that. That's all I
got. Whites. If you talk about white folk, when you were Kendall, you started this segment talking about white people. That was something talking about you got to lay down their whiteness. Look at Charlottesville.
Yeah, the minute you cross the white male superiority, you might as well.
Yeah,
you might as well be us. Go ahead, Maya.
I would say my biggest issue, and I think some of you are my Facebook friends, so are the white people. And I think these are the biggest problem. They're the white people who are fake allies, who are still trying to say that they are liberals and they understand where we're coming from. but they're not putting their bodies on the line for us, or they're still in some way trying to tell us what's happening isn't that bad. These people were illegal, as if a human can be illegal. Those people who I choose not to argue with, because, and that's when I say, like, this is not my fight. It is not my job to educate you for free. I choose not to argue with those white people and cite sources and get them to try to understand anything, because they will never understand that due to a wall of privilege. That's when I say I'm not going to fight their fight. I'm not educating nobody about shit else, because this is simple humanity at this point. You either got it or you don't. There is no riding the fence right now. But also, secondly, where I'm going to disagree with that is, yes, of course, I live in Memphis, Tennessee, one of the blackest cities in the world. Our police department has been beating us since I can remember, since I was allowed to be on Beale Street. So, yeah, we've been seeing this. They just killed someone last year on tape. Everyone got acquitted. However, these things are still put to trial here. As African Americans, we are still getting charged. We are still getting put, whether it's fair or not. We are still going through a standard process. People are not coming into our home and dismantling our family and taking our children with no charges whatsoever, simply because the color of our skin. And then we're never seeing those children again, or we're being sent on a plane to be tortured in a country we're not even from. So this actually does sound similar to our origin of our story, though.
Yeah.
And that is when I say, us distancing ourselves from, like, this is not as bad as what we had to go through, or this is not the same. Actually, it is. It just happened to us 200 years ago, and they're used to looking at our black asses now. Now, what they're doing to them is exactly what they did to us, down to a T. They're using them for forced labor and farms. They are building mega facility detention centers 30 minutes from my house to house 8,500 people and paying them $1 a day to work.
And separating
So,
families.
and completely separating the families. They don't even know where their kids are. They're keeping no record of this. They are raping these people. Sound like some big house behavior, right? So
There was I remember that there was the officer recently. We didn't cover this, but I'll mention it here. There was the ICE officer that was fired for sexually assaulting a woman,
a Nicaraguan woman, so that she could see her kid
repeatedly for months, in exchange for her being able to see her child, and in exchange in exchange for messages, and in exchange for bringing in, I think, contraband like food or snacks or stuff like that, and totally sexually assaulting her. And it wasn't just her; it was I think it was 4 other women that have reported it as well.
These are just who got caught. Yeah. They're doing this everywhere.
Yeah. And you're right, Mike. He got caught. The ICE agent that went into the porta potty after he slipped and fell on the ice. After slipped fell. Somebody say even the ice don't want to fool with ice.
Well, they're also torturing these kids. You could hear the kids crying from outside the mega detention center in Texas. I don't know a mom who saw that and was not in tears. That is a guttural response. It doesn't matter what color these kids from, where they come from. The 5-year-old that they used to bait his freaking family out of this.
Moral compass.
This is disgusting. It's cruel.
David
and they did this to us before.
David Corvell, age 56, entered a plea agreement. Entered a guilty plea before the U.S. district judge for his sexually abusing detainees at an ICE facility.
And there was other reports. I think Maya mentioned this one of the early episodes she joined us about the reports of children in ICE detention being sexually molested in some of these.
And they're being murdered. Let's not forget they're being murdered in ICE detention too.
There've been. I think they said there's been several deaths.
It's been close to 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maya mentioned something. She said she didn't want to argue with or have to explain to white folk why they should be involved in that. And that's the point I was making when I said if you have any doubt, just go back and look and see what all those white people did in Charlottesville, because that wasn't black. Those are white people fighting neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
and some of them were injured. One was killed. There weren't black folk out there. You had some black folk, but those were mainly white folk.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping in to Kendall's point and to that lady's point, they put their whiteness aside and said, we can't stand for this. And they went toe to toe, brawling with, protesting, and in some cases fighting neo-Nazis in Charlottesville. Y'all, if you lived under a rock during that time, it wasn't that long ago, look it up. It's all over YouTube.
A lot of them subconsciously don't want to give up superiority. They're benefiting from the way things are. Yeah. And there's a reason they're putting skilled laborers. Let's not forget what Hispanic people do. There's a reason they're choosing this population to enslave, essentially. Trump loved him some hotels. Who do y'all think is doing all this work now? Now they don't have to pay them.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say about white folks putting their body on the line, in the civil rights movement, there were young white people that put their bodies on the line, and they were killed on the bus for it.
They were killed. Right?
The Mississippi bus burning, the fire down there. So it has to be, it can't be. I guess I'm somewhere in the middle of it. I think, and I'm a still, I like these analogies. I'm still an analogy from Pastor Jeffrey Johnson back when we had the George Floyd killing. He locally in Indianapolis, he said something that has stuck with me because I thought it made all sense in the world. He said, we can see the need for better policing. We can see the need for there to be that we address the issue of youth black on black crime and all that. And we can also see the police murdering someone. He said we can see them both with bifocals. We can see it long range and we can see it up close. We don't have to pick which one we're seeing. And I guess my position on this would be, I can see that white people need to sacrifice something if you want this to change. But I can also see that black folks, that we know what this looks like, and we actually know how to navigate this as a people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I know they didn't stand with us time and time again. Mm-hmm. But sometimes fat meat ain't greasy until you bite it. Mm-hmm. And they are biting greasy meat right now. It's one thing to stop people at the border, separate them from their families, put babies in dog cages and all that BS he did the first time. It's a whole nother thing to walk up in someone's home without a warrant and take me out of my house. Because to Maya's point, because she always talks about the Latin diaspora and how there's still colorism, that lighter complected Latinos think that they have some kind of built-in immunity to this nonsense. Well, now you're finding out you do not. You don't. Mm-hmm. And when they decide, because when they come knocking on your door, all they see is Eduardo Jimenez. That's all they see. They don't see that you are white representing. So the point is, at some point the point I'm making, let me calm down. The point I'm making is
Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
A lot of white presenting Latinos are not there yet. They still don't get it.
No, I get it. But here's the thing. I think, and I agree with you, Maya, but here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. The point I'm making is this. We need all hands on deck for this one. Mm-hmm. Because they're also grabbing, and to Ace's point, they're not, CNN ain't talking about it, but they're snatching Haitians. Mm-hmm. They're snatching Somalians. They're snatching Somalian. And these racist eugenics believing fools aren't going to delineate between your black tail and somebody from Haiti.
Oh, you had the guy from Somalia who went viral saying, y'all need to stop putting me, I'm not black. I'm not black. They do
that too, yeah.
I'm not black, bro. I'm Somali. I'm not.
Dude, well, he's technically not black in the way that we think that.
Yeah, guess what? I
But they don't think that.
Yeah,
Just
they don't because they're technically not. I mean, if you go to the UK, they don't consider.
I'm talking about white people. I mean, those ACE Asians,
Oh no, they don't give any
yeah,
of
they
that
don't
shit.
care.
They don't
they
know
don't care.
somebody's Korean
That's
or
what
freaking Cambodian.
that's what
They don't
Exactly.
know.
The Somalians.
They're gonna
That's
still
what Aaron
bust you up.
Ace was saying.
Yeah.
That's the Somalians. They don't know that. They don't look. They
No.
look at us all the same.
Yeah,
All the
just like
same.
they look at
Mhm.
Hispanic people all the same. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
If you ain't white,
and
well, yeah, no Europeans are in these detention centers. If you haven't noticed,
None.
They deported less than 1%.
yeah.
yeah,
They vote in the very beginning. They deported. They did deport a few, but
There was
it's
a police
nowhere.
officer in, I think,
It's nowhere
Illinois.
close.
Yeah, there was
Nowhere
a police
close.
officer in Illinois. He's from like Ukraine, I think.
Yeah, they
Um,
devote. Yeah, some people. Yeah. They got a
and they
few of
probably
them.
overstayed or something like
yeah.
that. But they're not just running up on folks at their house or at their
Nah,
workplace or
Oh,
at
yeah,
their
you're right.
school or at their
not at
church.
all.
They're not
Not
I was
at
setting
just
all.
saying,
traps.
that's what I was
They're
just
picking
saying. They're
people
not
up
about.
at their school pickup lines here.
Mm-hmm.
Kids aren't even going to school here.
yeah.
But you're right. They're not picking up. They're not picking up people who overstayed their visas, which is just as much.
Yeah.
That's
It's
because a
against
lot
the
of them
law.
are
They're criminal.
they're white adjacent. They're considered they're considered a different class, so they can be able to stay.
Well, they're white, yeah. They're
White
contributing
adjacent
to
or
whitening the nation, which is what they want. They've already made that
Mhm.
narrative true.
Mhm.
All these pregnant folks walking around the White House, y'all done seen that. Family first,
Mhm.
some Handmaid's Tale stuff. Not
Mhm.
cute.
Wow. Last thing, just a rapid, just a around the horn. As we close the show out, just a rapid around the horn. While all this was happening back in America, there was an economic summit, and Canada's Prime Minister Carney, he announced that Canada and China have come to a massive economic agreement, cutting his ties with.
Repeat that, Kendall.
Go ahead.
You're distorted. You repeat that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I said, am I still distorted now?
You're fine now. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was going to say that while all this was happening in America, in Minnesota, and all that, there was a global chess game being played at the economic summit last week. Canada's Prime Minister Carney announced that Canada and China had come to an enormous agreement that really cuts America out. It cuts a lot of the economic ties with America and joins them with China and the East. And the U.S. response so far has been for Trump to threaten more tariffs and all this other kind of stuff.
100%.
Yeah. I want to get y'all's opinion as we close out. Y'all, I think now one thing that perked my ears up real quick is that Carney sat across from Xi Jinping and said, this new agreement is a part of the new world order. That's number one. Number two, it is all of this activity is destabilizing the long range power of the US.
Mhm.
And I know Maya disagrees with this, but if you do believe Bible, and I do, the United States of America they have to lose power in order for the Antichrist to do his thing. So that's my opinion on this. But let's go around the horn as we close out. What are you guys' thoughts on the go ahead, Maya. What's your thoughts on the economic summit and what was your feeling when you saw some of that?
I think we're watching Trump's ego erode away with every time he's getting bushwhacked by the larger powers and being embarrassed like they did him at the NATO summit.
Yeah, they cornered him.
Man, that was good. He's eroding away. So I say, by all means, keep making him feel ostracized. He just wants to sit at the lunch table with everyone else.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it. He's that little boy picking his nose in the corner right now, as he should be.
Yeah, with the diaper on that nobody wants to sit at the Pope's funeral. Go ahead, Eric.
Poop and tail.
Go ahead, Eric. What was your thoughts when you saw some of that? Because you're the finance guy. What was your thoughts, man?
My thoughts was Who did not see that coming? We've been talking about that these last few episodes about how don't be surprised when Canada and China link up, or Canada and Russia, just to not just to like Maya was saying, put a jab to Donald Trump, but like you saying, Aaron, Kendall, the bigger picture is just trying to whatever they can to cripple the American dollar. Mm-hmm. And once the American dollar is crippled, we're in trouble, economic trouble. As far as in the tariffs, Trump is a one-trick pony. All he says is, "Okay, I'm just going to put more tariffs," which doesn't work. It's just all it is a tax on the poor and working class. 96% of tariffs was paid by the middle class and poor. Only 4% actually went towards our U.S. revenue. 4.
And where's our check?
4%.
You ain't getting no check.
Where's our check?
see. Oh, you about those checks that they was talking about?
Well, where's my $2,000?
And your tariff refund. Your tariff refund. Go ahead, Ace.
I mean, I agree with Eric. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks. You can say we predicted it.
We did.
And and it's only going to get worse. I mean, you got this idiot, according to the what was that organization? That Council of Foreign Relations. They said he's up to over 75 countries that he's banned or restricted their visa processing. So as we're continuing to shut ourselves out, isolate ourselves from the rest of the globe, they're uniting. We're causing countries to see each other as their brother and sister, and they're uniting. They say, okay, America, we're going to let them burn themselves set themselves on fire.
Every stepsister.
But we're relationship with Israel.
But you got people who weren't even allies forming an alliance because of this orange buffoon. I told you, evangelicals, he's a fool. I've been telling y'all he's a fool.
And what Trump called his peace group? What did he call them? Not
the Council, the Board of Peace, or the Council
Board of Peace. And then he just photoshops like the little emblem.
How many countries is on his Board of Peace? I saw a lot of empty chairs. How many?
They dropped out.
And they're smaller countries that have very limited impact.
Yeah, there were your countries from, I think, Latin America. I think that's it. I think that was it. A few from Latin America.
And Benjamin said he ain't doing it. They told Benjamin he can't do it. Benjamin Netanyahu, he's the least peaceful person on earth. Like, what are you doing?
Board of Peace, yes.
And I will say this to the president of FIFA: this is all your fault. This is all your fault.
Can't wait for Bad Bunny.
You gave that fool Bad Bunny. You gave that fool a peace prize, a FIFA peace prize, when you should have just given him a championship ring, Kendall.
Oh, I hear you. Hey, I know my ankle like this, but you Christians out there, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, Daniel chapter 7, and Revelation chapter 17. Thank me later. Inbox me. Because the Board of Peace is in Scripture in 3 different places. God bless you. All right.
Well, we're going to listen to the Bad Bunny album. It's on album 2, verse 6.
I hear you. We're going to be on up out of here. All right. Listen. On behalf of my brother Eric Johnson, my brother Ace Chandler, the very lovely Miss Maya McKenzie, and myself, Kendall Wyatt, thank you for being a part of the Root Cause Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. We're loving the podcast, loving to be able to talk about these topics, and one thing, yeah, man, and y'all, we really, no matter what you believe or anything like that, keep America in your thoughts and prayers as we try to navigate this. We got to try and figure out how to stick together. We got to stick together. Ain't no telling what what you think he smells like right there.
I know he's about to say that. I know he's about to say that.
That's definitely that.
But he smell it, didn't it?
Oh,
that's right.
And we know where that finger's been.
Don't get distracted. Hold on.
They still ain't seen the Epstein. They still in contempt.
And then,
Hey,
Ace,
Epstein files.
Ace,
Smell that
hey,
finger.
Ace, y'all think this guy's gonna shut the government
Hey,
down?
y'all want anything from the store?
No, he couldn't whip the votes to get the.
Anybody want anything from Dollar General? Hakeem's going.
Shit,
I want some-
right
I
now,
want some-
yeah, he got a truck.
I want some Doritos. Well, we still ain't got them files, have we?
Really? No,
Well,
we
they
ain't.
rocking y'all straight to sleep. We ain't got them files yet. Look at him. He in there.
Man.
He in there marking them out right now as we speak. Right while we talking, he in there marking
Over
them out.
2 million. Over 2 million files.
Wow.
Because this girl.
Can't stand her.
I believe it when they say they're gonna preach her. She is. Even the Republicans are sick of her. Even the Republicans are sick of her. When you got Tom Cotton, and
Blatantly
them,
lying.
yeah. When you got Tom Cotton and them speaking
Blatantly
against,
lying.
they sick of her, man.
Mhm.
They sick of her.
Blatantly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rest in peace, freedom fighters. Rest in peace.
They wasn't even trying to do all that.
Yeah, I know, but rest in peace, freedom fighters. And I'll get you, my
You wanna
fifty.
play?
Ooh. Tucker Carlson's brother.
I saw that.
Her, Larry Loomer, said she looks like a transvestite. That's what he said.
Okay,
This is,
nobody says transvestite anymore, and she
I
does
don't know
not look
what
like a
transvestite is.
transgender because that face is clockable. She just ugly. She is actually just ugly. She has bad
whatever they
plastic
call it. They
surgery,
call her
bad
transgender.
makeup.
Whatever.
She's
He
ugly.
he said called her. Your name is now Larry Loomer. She was
Very
pissed.
Loomer.
Listen, don't let my said don't put that on transgender people. They
Do not
beautiful.
put that on
This
them
girl-
at all. She's clockable as shit. She's ugly.
boy, Charlie Kirk, next to the Lord Jesus Christ, or whoever that
should
white
take
man is,
some.
whoever that white man is, and they got it right. Can you imagine that? They got him in between Reverend Dr. Martin Luther the King and the King of Kings. Doc, that's crazy. That
Looks
is,
like it makes sense.
that is insane. And this guy right here, yep, there it is. Yep.
Who is that?
Yep. That's freedom fighters that were killed in Mississippi.
Oh, it's so small. Okay.
Yeah. And then this guy right here is technically running the government.
He's the president.
Yeah.
That's the
He's
president.
technically the
He
president.
looks like he just farted.
Mega
He's
Mind.
running it.
Mega Mind
He's
is
running
running. Mega Mind is
Widget.
running. he's
Widget, the
running
world watcher.
Yeah, Widget, the world watcher. Listen, on behalf of myself, Eric Johnson, Ace Chandler, Maya McKenzie, thank y'all for hanging out with us, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. Follow us on social media.
Share.
Share. Please share. Follow us individually. We're picking up some momentum. I think we're approaching 30,000 interactions each time, so that we're growing. We're getting there. So keep it up, keep it locked, keep sharing, keep commenting. We didn't do pass and play this week. We'll get back to it. Engage with us. We would love to have that. All right. Listen, as we leave, I say it every week and I'm gonna say it tonight. I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't know what you're going through, but I want you to hear me. We think about you. We're wishing the best for you. We are rooting for you. And the worst is over. And the best is yet to come. We'll see you next time on the Root Cause Podcast. Love you.